In this video, we're gonna look at what it took for me to make my transition into the keto lifestyle. But before we do that, I wanna invite you to subscribe to the channel. Do it right now if you're interested in more content about life. So I am an entrepreneur pursuing my vision while maximizing who I am and what I get out of life. So if that is content that is of interest to you, make sure you subscribe. Okay, let's do this. No, wait. Before we do, this is not one of those videos. I tried keto for 30 days and this is what happened. It's not one of those videos. As I'm recapping my transition into keto, I am now 90-day plus into the keto lifestyle. I've had to tweak it. I've had to make changes. And that's why I waited to make this video, so I have better understanding and perspective of the impact of the lifestyle, of the diet on my energy, on my health, on my well-being, and on my needs. So as a perimenopausal woman, I have learned over the last 90 days that I do need to step out of keto every so often because there are certain foods that I need for my hormones that take me out of keto, and I need to be okay with that because I think the proper level of hormones is more important than ensuring that I am in keto. So I didn't know that the first 30 days. That's why I waited to make this video. So again, I kind of give some perspective to things. Now, that being said, let's establish though, as I was making that initial transition, what I was keeping in mind. I was walking into understanding the keto lifestyle, the diet, as consuming, as my dietary needs being met by consuming 70 to 75% of my calories from high quality fats, 20 to 25% from protein, and 5% from carbohydrates. So no more than 18 to 20 grams of carbohydrates. Then I had to learn what a net carb is. So when we say, because 18 gram of carbs, that's nothing, right? I mean, that's a salad will almost get you there. But I had to learn about net carbs. So a net carb is a carb minus the carb of the food minus the fiber for the food, and that gives you the net carbs. So I got educated on that, and so I did my homework on my recipes based on following those guidelines, and I was doing it for about a 1,500 calorie diet. Now the macros was what I was focusing up more on, but I was looking to lose some weight. So I wanted to keep it around 1,500 calories. So with my level of activity and my basic metabolic rate, I felt like that was a good thing. And then with the fasting and the keto, the mission was to get to the point where I was insulin sensitive. So that I would be able to go back between burning carbs for glucose or burning ketosis, burning ketones for fuel. So that was the mission that I was on as I was making my transition. So let's have a look. The first video we'll take a look at is my first trip to the grocery store. Hi everyone, it is January 5th and I just got back from the grocery store. It was an expensive trip to the grocery store because this week is when I am starting my keto lifestyle. So it's not a diet. I was slow in transitioning to keto because I know it needs to be a lifestyle. So I did a lot of research, looked up a lot of recipes, and I made sure that I found foods that I love, that I would enjoy eating, and that I felt really comfortable with this was the right thing for me to transition my life into. So this is how I plan on eating for the rest of my life. So I'm gonna empty these, put the food on the counter, go over some of the staples that I had to get that I didn't have, and then we'll talk some more about it. Here it is, my starter kit, my keto starter kit. So probably some of the biggest things I've never bought before are coconut oil, and I can't believe I bought butter. I got butter, cream cheese, heavy whipping cream. Can't imagine I would have ever eaten that before. Got lots of great veggies. So a keto diet is not about not having vegetables, so that's important to me. Lots of cheese, and I love cheese, so I'm very happy about that. Obviously, lots of olive oil, some new spices, not any spices I've never had before, but some new spices, some Himalayan pink salt, and obviously all the meat. That was a big thing about the meat. So all the meat is organic, no addition, grass-fed, no grains. And the biggest thing, I have never had sardines before. So this is going to be my first time trying sardines. I don't even know what to have them with, but I got myself some sardine. Yay! So that is my new staple foods that are going to be in my diet, and like I said, I'm very happy there's a lot of vegetables. So in here are two main recipes that I'm going to prep and eat. Actually, one of the reasons that's taking me so long to transition to keto is also because I have to cook. So you saw with the Foodie Fit meals in the fridge, it was just so much easier to order food. And I don't want to do an order service for this. I want to go ahead and, because I don't think ordering food from a service is sustainable. It's expensive, and frankly, it's limited because at some point you go through all the meals that they've had and you get tired of them. So I much rather go ahead and embrace the fact that I need to start cooking. So out of here are two main recipes that I'm going to make. One is a egg roll bowl, and the other are some chicken fajitas. So I did the math on my macros. So with those two meals, and with breakfast being a key meal for me to get a large calorie intake, that should work for me. And then some bone broth in between, and some bulletproof black tea. So I'm gonna work on making that work. So we'll see. And then I love the fact again that I can have cheese, and definitely packed with fat and calories. So it ends up being perfect. So I'll do a video when I meal prep and cook my first two meals. I'm gonna get this done. I'm excited. Actually, before we have some footage of my first week of cooking and making my first ever keto meal, let's first have a look, because not everything I needed could be found at the grocery store. One of the things that I did in preparation of shifting to my keto lifestyle is a lot of research. And that research made me realize I was missing a few things. So I have boxes coming in the next couple of days that have those things. So let me go ahead and open these, and I'll show you what I had to get. I just peed in a cup. I haven't done that since my last urinalysis for the Marine Corps. But the reason why I did was to take my first ketone test. So I bought some test strips. Apparently it's not the ideal way of measuring ketones, but it's a good start, and there's no ketones in my urine. Did not expect there to be. That would have been a pleasant surprise, but I have not been eating a keto diet, and maybe in the morning after my 18-hour fast I might see some ketones, but nonetheless I took the test, so there we go. Yes, as soon as I opened the box, I went and took the test. I needed to pee. TMI, I know. Anyway, some other things I bought. Got some almond flour, the different things that I saw to make the recipes that I have bookmarked, pork rinds, and then this is the wrong kit. It should have been an 8-inch and I'm not going to return it. This is why I don't buy things online, because if they send me the wrong thing, I suck at returning things. So I'll make it work. My air fryer is a really big one, but it's a kit for the air fryer. A lot of the recipes that I looked up were keto air fryer recipes, and the reason why, because I think it's a lot more convenient, easy, and it's faster. So between the air fryer, the crock pot, and I'm gonna have to buy a pressure cooker, that's how I plan on being the most efficient at making my meals. This is a little bag to steam veggies in a pressure cooker. So side note, pressure cooker and a slow cooker crock pot, not the same. So I have a crock pot, I do not have a pressure cooker. Now I need to buy a pressure cooker, because a lot of the recipes that I looked up that I thought were for the crock pot are actually for a pressure cooker. So there you have it. This is definitely smaller than I thought it was going to be. I want to make my little morning egg snacks out of here. So I guess I'm still going to have to order a few other things to make sure that I have everything I need. Oh, not keto necessarily related, but in all my keto research, I came across collagen peptides, and I'm adding that. I plan on, putting a scoop of collagen peptides in my bone broth, and it has a lot of benefits for skin, hair, bones, and joints. So it's all in keeping with me feeling the absolute best I can and looking the absolute best. And then based on the testimonial videos that I saw, people said that this works, so we'll see if it does. Got a meat tenderizer. One of the recipes I was looking at called for that. I can't believe I did not have one of these yet. So, all right, so there's a lot of cooking that's gonna have to take place, and I have another shipment coming in, and I think that has MCT oil and one other thing that is for cooking purposes and meal prep. It's all going to be meal prep. This, going to this lifestyle is all about properly being prepared and going into it, embracing it, and doing what it takes. So that's what I'm doing. And, it requires investment of time for the research, time for the prepping, and then money to have the right tools and equipment to get it done. I'm all in, people. So as you can see, I went to the grocery store and bought everything that I needed based on the research that I did and the recipes that I had selected. Next, I needed to start cooking. It is Wednesday, January 6th, and I am about to prepare my first 2 keto meals. And really, I need to meal prep on the weekends because I was busy working. I started looking at the clock. I'm like, crap, I got nothing to eat. So I gotta get some food going. And I think I'm gonna have some broth with my collagen to kind of hold me over, get some calories in me as well, some protein. And then do my meal prep, eat, because my feed window, my package is busted. My feed window ends at 1 p.m. and it's 11:35. And actually I have a call at 1 p.m. So I need to get all of this done pretty quick. My air fryer is heating up. First time using it. So, all right, let me get this done. All right, so everything is chopped up to make my chicken fajitas in the air fryer. The air fryer is heated up and it smells bad. It smells brand new. Hopefully that will not go into the taste of the food. There was nothing. Everything is coated with olive oil and the fajita mix. Putting it in the air fryer and crossing my fingers, really. I don't know if this is gonna work. Moment of truth. Time to open it and stir it up and see what it looks like. The smell, it still just smells like a new smell, which is not a good smell. That doesn't look too bad. Those fajitas were delicious. I have made them one more time since then, and it's a recipe that I know I will make many, many more times. Now, that day, not only did I make my first ever air fried fajitas, I also had my first taste of bone broth with collagen. Okay, so that first week, so far so good. I had a couple of recipes made. I had my meal plan, but then I got hit by a sweet tooth. So I found myself having to go back to the grocery store. I went back to the store to buy more things that I needed. This time though, it's to bake. So the last few days I've been craving. So I used to get this one large piece of carrot cake, and I would eat that at least once a week. And I think it had like 800 calories and obviously lots of carbs and sugar. And so, but because I stopped eating it, but I'm really craving carrot cake. So I'm gonna be making my own. So I have to go back to the store and buy the things that I would need to make that and other desserts that I saw, or fat bombs that I guess they're called. That was not a smooth operation. I was in the middle of making my first keto carrot cake, which I think is the first ever carrot cake that I made, keto or otherwise. And I realized I was out of vanilla extract, which is crazy because I could have sworn I had some. And then the recipe, because I went between different recipes, the one I selected also required monk fruit sweetener. So I had to rush out to the grocery store. I'm not a fan of going to the grocery store for a couple of things during a pandemic, but rushed out to the grocery store. And when I was in the grocery store, they had a table full of the carrot cake that I usually get. And it was so tempting to just buy that one piece of carrot cake and then forget about this whole making my own. But I hung in there, got what I needed, and now the cake's in the oven. We'll see what it tastes like. Ouchies! That day that I made the carrot cake, as you can see, it didn't go very well. I made the carrot cake and I made another recipe. I had to go back to the grocery store. Then I broke a plate and I burned myself. Okay, so that first week, things were a little hectic in the kitchen. But I did get that carrot cake made. So let's have a look at the carrot cake and my thoughts on what it tasted like. It's not bad. It's not very moist. I wish it was a little bit more moist, and I should have put a little bit more of the sugar in, well, the fake, whatever, the Swerve confection sugar in the icing. But the flavors do hit the spot. I mean, you feel like you're eating a carrot cake, and I think it's going to take care of the craving. Although my first week of the transition was not super smooth, I did feel a level of satisfaction in the food. I enjoyed the food. I was very satisfied with having all these food first, cooking and baking for myself. The food itself was delicious. I was enjoying it, and it was satisfying me. So once I made that carrot cake, that took care of that craving, and the craving went away. In the weeks to come, in that first 30 days, I ended up making some other incredible recipes that just blew me away, and my tummy was like, why have you not been feeding me like this all this time? So we're gonna go through some footage of some of the other recipes and other meals that I made. I did have to make another trip to Target to buy some different cookware. I think I might have ordered a few other things that I needed. So in my transition, it was costly. So it was costly. It cost me time for all the research. It cost me money to buy everything that I needed. And then it cost me more time in the kitchen. But like I said, it was satisfying. It was rewarding. And that's what ultimately made the transition worth it. And also, if you watch the video of my first 30-day transition, you see that I lost 8 pounds that month. So the month of my transition into the keto lifestyle, it really paid off. I was eating better than I had in years and losing weight. All right, so let's go ahead, let's play some music and let's look at some food. Those recipes, such delicious food. The smothered pork chops, I'm making those again. They were so yummy. I have a steak in the fridge, so I'm making that air fry steak again. So yeah, I'm still doing the same thing, selecting new recipes, but I'm also bringing in some of my favorites back into the lineup. That's what makes the lifestyle easier, is now you're in a rhythm. You have the habits, you have the routine. It's easier and faster for me to cook now because I'm doing it every week. And now for the last 90 plus days, I have not had a meal that I have not prepared for myself. So doing keto while traveling or visiting family or going out, I don't know what that's like. So even though I'm 90 days into the keto lifestyle, I still have to explore how do I maintain that lifestyle when I'm not at home. So that's going to be the latest and the newest challenge with it. The other thing is, because remember I do fasting and keto, and I'm premenopausal, so there's a lot of research that goes into that in the foods that I need to eat, and there's foods that I need to eat for my hormones, for estrogen and progesterone, that take me out of keto. So I'm exploring more of what that's like. So as a matter of fact, this week I'm in a hormone building week, which means I'm not eating straight keto. And I can tell the difference. Every time there's more carbs and sugar coming from citrus fruit, and other fruits, I get more hungry than when I'm strict keto. So going in and out of keto really makes me realize the difference, but I'm keeping it clean no matter what. I haven't had any type of processed food, sugary food, anything of that sort in the last 90 days. And my goal is to never have those types of foods again. So that's, I don't know how realistic that is. Again, once I am on the move a lot more. But I embrace the challenge because I know what it makes me feel like. I feel better, I have more energy, and I don't have any cravings. I'm very fulfilled, and I'm back in the gym. I'm mountain biking, so being on keto is not stopping me from doing any of that. So I can go on a 10-15 mile bike ride, and I don't need I don't need to be consuming a huge, carb-based meal prior to that. So I am learning that my body is, able to transition between energy sources, be it carbs or fat. So that's the beauty of being insulin sensitive, is having the ability to do that. I will make updates again as life progresses, as things change, to let you all know how am I coping, how am I dealing with these changes and maintaining the lifestyle. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Share with me what your transition was like, or what is holding you back from making a transition into the keto lifestyle, or maybe some other different type of diet. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to get more content about maximizing your life and having first times and new experiences.